Breaking news hot off the press.
It's going to be difficult as Caitlin Clark, who did not participate in the shoot-around, and she will not be available. But
Caitlin Clark officially ruled out.
Unfortunately, it means realistically Caitlin Clark's playing for nothing this year.
So it looked like Caitlin Clark has officially been ruled out.
2 minutes ago, Caitlin Clark is officially out with a groin injury, and fans are furious. She's been played through pain, ignored by her coach, and now sidelined. While the WNBA Finals payout sits at just $500,000 for the whole team.
I think at first, we need to expand our salaries, take care of the players who are in the league right now, and I think we're gonna definitely be doing that in the next CBA. We're gonna get what we're worth, and we're not settling for anything less. And I think that's a big message across the league that we're not gonna settle.
This is the league's biggest star, and she deserves better.
When Caitlin Clark missed 5 games with a quad injury, you guys remember what happened to the WNBA ratings? They tanked miserably, dropped 50%.
If you stand with Caitlin, drop a 1 in the comments right now. Let's show her the fans are with her and watching. Caitlin Clark's groin injury didn't come out of nowhere.
Caitlin Clark officially ruled out a meaningless game.
The signs were there, clear as day. Her recent on-court performance raised red flags. Just 1 3-pointer across 3 games and only 6 points in her last outing. But it wasn't just the stats. It was her body language. She wasn't hyping up the crowd, her energy was off, and fans even noticed changes in her pregame routine. Something wasn't right. What made it more obvious? The tape. Clark had her upper leg and groin wrapped during multiple games.
it's going to be difficult as Caitlin Clark, who did not participate in the shoot-around and stretching portions that were open to the media. She's dealing with a groin injury. She dealt previously with a quad strain. All indications is that she will not be available, but she is on this trip with the team.
Including the ones against the Connecticut Sun and the New York Liberty. These weren't just precautionary wraps. She was clearly battling discomfort. Yet the Indiana Fever increased her minutes, from 28 to 34 to 34 again. That's a massive load on a leg that's already compromised. Now here's the deeper concern. Caitlin already had a quad injury earlier this year, possibly dating back to training camp. And when you don't let an injury fully heal,
according to the Fever head coach Stephanie White, Caitlin Clark continues to struggle with a groin injury.
your body compensates, often leading to new injuries in nearby areas. That's likely what happened here. Quad strain became groin pain, and with every game, it got worse. To make matters even more alarming, she was put back into the game against Seattle with just 16 seconds left. The Fever were up by 8, the game was already won. But Clark was reinserted, took a hard non-contact stumble, grabbed her groin, and limped off. The pain was written all over her face. This wasn't just bad luck. This was a pattern of ignoring red flags. Caitlin had clearly bulked up over the offseason, adding muscle and strength. But without easing into live game reps, it likely threw off her mechanics. And when your mechanics are off and you're logging heavy minutes, something's going to give. For Caitlin, it did, in the worst possible way. Medical experts will tell you groin injuries are tricky. Rush them, and it could lead to something far worse, like a torn ACL, hip damage, or chronic instability. For a player like Clark, who relies on explosive shooting and quick change of direction, this could be career-altering if not handled with care. And that's exactly the point. Where was the care? This was a young superstar sending visible signals that her body was breaking down. Instead of rest, she got extended minutes. Instead of protection, she got pushed to the brink. This isn't just about one game. This is about a franchise that gambled with the health of the most important player in the league, and now everyone's paying the price.
WNBA, we're seeing our public image get tarnished because when Caitlin Clark doesn't play, the ratings just look awful.
If Caitlin Clark's injury was a warning sign, the reaction to how it was handled has become a full-blown alarm. At the center of the firestorm, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White. After Clark was ruled out with a groin injury, Coach White told the media she only found out about the issue the night before. But fans weren't buying it. And honestly, who would?
I got hit in the quad, so I needed some compression, and that's really the gist of it. And then I bruised my knee pretty bad.
Caitlin had been playing with visible tape on her leg for multiple games. Her body language showed discomfort. Her performance had dipped sharply, and she was still logging heavy minutes, including 34 minutes just days before the injury was officially acknowledged. If fans on Twitter and courtside could see she wasn't right, how could her coach not? The moment that truly ignited outrage came in the final seconds of the game against Seattle. The Fever were up by 8. Victory was all but guaranteed. Caitlin was on the bench, safe. And then she was subbed back in with 16 seconds left. Within seconds of re-entering, she stumbled awkwardly on a non-contact change of direction, went down hard and grabbed her groin. On her face, visible pain. On the bench, chaos. It didn't take a slow-mo replay to see she was hurting. The question everyone's asking, why was she even in the game? This wasn't a playoff run. This wasn't a close battle. This was a coaching decision that put a superstar at unnecessary risk. And it may have cost her more than just a few games. Now fans are speaking out, and they're not holding back.
We'll wait for the last possible minute. We'll hold off as long as we possibly can. And then we'll say that Caitlin Clark is out.
Social media has erupted with demands that Coach White be held accountable. Comments like, "This is coaching malpractice. You don't risk a generational player for garbage time minutes. Stephanie White has to go. Enough." And it doesn't stop there. This latest incident triggered memories.
Just rule her out. Why even bother saying game time decision? Wake up in the morning. She's out, not playing.
Of how the Dana Bonner situation was handled, where the team kept saying she was out for personal reasons, only for completely different information to emerge later. Then Coach White admitted she hadn't even been in communication with Bonner at the time. Now, the same lack of transparency is being linked to Caitlin's situation. The Fever are losing not only games, they're losing the trust of their own fan base. It's one thing to lose a game. It's another to lose your credibility. With a young star like Caitlin Clark, who is literally the face of the league right now, there's no room for missteps. And yet the coaching decisions, the communication lapses, the unnecessary risk-taking, all of it paints a picture of an organization that may be overwhelmed, underprepared, or simply out of touch with what they have in their hands. And what they have is everything.
We're taking a lot of pride in it. Another opportunity to compete, another opportunity to get better, another opportunity to create a first for this franchise. Certainly, yes, the added bonus that our players get is a motivation. But the bigger picture, an opportunity to win a championship, a first championship here in Indiana, and an opportunity for us to get better and grow.
As Caitlin Clark recovers from her groin injury, fans and analysts aren't just talking about her minutes or injury mismanagement anymore. They're talking about money. And the question that's now circulating like wildfire online is this: $500,000 for the WNBA Finals? For this? Let's break it down. That figure, $500,000, isn't for one player. It's for the entire championship team to split. That means every athlete, trainer, and staffer gets a small slice of the pie. In contrast, in the NBA, a single playoff win can net a role player more than that entire pool. And a championship? That can mean millions in bonuses and endorsement boosts per player. Now enter Caitlin Clark.
So they're an embarrassing basketball team. They're an embarrassment of a team.
She's the most talked about athlete in women's basketball.
And it's beat a team above 500. Lads, they have beaten one team above 500 since Caitlin Clark's freshman year.
Her games are selling out arenas across the country. Her jerseys are #1 in sales. Her Nike Kobe sneakers sold out instantly and are reselling for triple the price. WNBA ratings spike when she plays and drop by over 50% when she's out.
When Caitlin Clark missed 5 games with a quad injury, you guys remember what happened to the WNBA ratings? They tanked miserably.
There is no debate. Caitlin is driving the league's relevance, visibility, and income right now. So when she goes down with an injury many believe could have been avoided with better protection and smarter coaching, it raises a bigger, uglier question. Is the WNBA taking care of its stars the way it should? Because here's the truth. You cannot market Caitlin Clark to sponsors.
A 10% chance with a hobbled Caitlin, a 30% chance with a healthy Caitlin, and a 0.1 or 1% chance right now. Like, legitimately, I'd say I give them a 1% chance.
Use her image to sell out arenas, and then allow her to be targeted with no protection on the court, all while underpaying the players she's helping elevate. She's been grabbed, hand-checked, hip-checked, and even shoved without consistent whistles. Referees are letting things go because it's physical playoff basketball, but this isn't about toughness anymore. This is about player safety. If the league wants to showcase its stars, it has to protect them. And the money? That's part of the protection too. We've entered a new era where players like Caitlin are worth not just 6 or 7 figures, but brand-level investment. She brings in millions, yet she and her teammates are fighting through brutal schedules, weak recovery windows, and travel conditions that would be considered unacceptable in any top men's league. Fans are noticing they're not just mad about the groin injury. They're angry that the very system Caitlin is elevating isn't rising to meet her. Even though Caitlin hasn't directly spoken out about the $500,000 finals payout yet,
I think at first, like, we need to expand our salaries, like take care of the players who are in the league right now, and I think we're gonna definitely be doing that in the next CBA. We're gonna get what we're worth, and we're not settling for anything less. And I think that's a big message across the league that we're not gonna settle.
her presence alone has made it impossible for people to ignore. Commentators, fans, and journalists are echoing the same sentiment. The league is being carried by a player who's making less than a G League reserve. And while Caitlin might be focused on the court, the conversation around her is growing louder. When will the WNBA match the value she's bringing? This moment, her absence from the court, the injury spotlight, the debate over whether she should even return this season, has thrown a floodlight on a league in transition.
They are plus 9.5 underdogs.
And if the WNBA doesn't get ahead of this moment, the consequences could be long-lasting. Because when your most valuable asset is hurt, underpaid, and overexposed,
I don't see how the Fever win this game without Caitlin Clark. I just don't. I don't even really see how the Fever win this game with Caitlin Clark. I definitely don't see how the Fever win this game without Caitlin Clark.
the league isn't just risking Caitlin's season, they're risking Caitlin's future. Caitlin Clark didn't just show up and play, she reignited an entire league. She filled arenas, broke viewership records, and brought a new generation of fans into women's basketball. But now, as she sits out with a painful groin injury, the bigger picture is clear. The WNBA has a Caitlin Clark problem, not because of her, but because of how she's being handled, protected, and paid. A superstar like Caitlin should be celebrated, protected, and empowered, not worn down, mismanaged, and thrown into meaningless minutes while injured. And she definitely shouldn't be doing all of this while a $500,000 prize pool hangs as the supposed peak of reward in this league. This isn't just about one player. This is about setting a new standard. So let's make it clear. Fans aren't quiet anymore. You see it. You feel it. You're part of it. If you believe Caitlin deserves better, more rest, more respect, and more pay, drop a 1 in the comments right now. And sound off. Should she sit out until after All-Star? Should the WNBA increase finals pay? What needs to change first? Hit that like button to support Caitlin's recovery, and make sure to subscribe for all the latest updates on her comeback and the growing firestorm in the WNBA. This isn't over, not by a long shot.